So this is a story about hope. So there was a 3-year-old girl that came to our doorstep, and she came with her equally sick mom. She had bulging eye on one side and enlarged abdomen. And soon we realized that she was HIV positive. She was referred to a hospital, and she and the mom were also receiving treatment. The mom was also HIV positive. We later also realized that, we found out that the father just recently died of AIDS. They were found on the streets because when the father died, they didn't have any way to live. Father's a Malaysian, mother's Indonesian. So this girl, we eventually named Hope, is a Malaysian, and she was placed in the hospital because the mom didn't have any way to live, so she lived with Hope in the hospital. So over the months, our heart grew, and despite her deformity, her eye was really bulging on one side with really enlarged abdomen, and she was very playful, and she was always very cheerful. Every time we went to visit her, she would just play with us, and every time when we left the hospital, she would be crying because we were her playmates. 3 months later, we received a call from her mom that the mom wanted to baptize her, and we realized that time is running short for her. So we are an organization, we are a non-religious organization, but anyway, because there was a request from the mom, so we frantically looked for a priest to baptize her, and she was baptized a few hours after the request was made. The next day she died peacefully, so Hope died. So we thought that was the end of the grief, but no, there was the beginning of another challenge. The mom requested that she was to be brought back to Indonesia. The father was buried in Indonesia, across the border. So came another challenge of doing all the paperwork of getting her body to be brought over. So we set up a group that's called Getting Hope, bringing hope home. So it was very stressful for everybody, and eventually we got all the paperwork done within 3 days, and so after her last rite at the morgue, Hope was brought home. It does sound like a bleak story, but yes, Hope did die. But Hope's death brought hope as well, because when we were frantically looking for solutions to bring her home, we realized that a lot of people actually, help came to us. A good Samaritan actually donated a coffin, and we were so grateful for that. You know how many, how one wouldn't have thought that, the donation of a coffin would bring a smile to your face? But it did, because for an organization that's running on limited resources, that coffin means a lot. And for Hope to be brought home in a dignified manner, it's something that we really appreciated. And in addition to that too, we realized that a lot of people actually cared, despite being this HIV positive kid, who was not the cutest kid of all, but in our hearts, she was the cutest. So despite all that, it actually brought hope to us that no matter how hard our work is, there's still hope that people do care. And that's my story of hope.